Chapter 5, Saturday Night at the Well. Back in room 321, Candy sobbed. He slapped me, Cathy, and then he called me a whore. What a jackass. You sure don't need that in your life. But Cathy, he's the only man I ever loved. And I can't stop loving him. I don't think I can live without him. Cathy cradled her. We'll get through this, Rumi. There was a knock. Leslie Goldstein, the chubby freshman from across the hall, was in a tizzy. What's wrong? Candy asked. Laura, again. I can't take it, I'm telling you. What's her problem now? Candy asked. She thinks I stole her bra. Can you believe that? Every time she loses something, she thinks I stole it. I tried being nice, Candy. That didn't work. I tried avoiding her, but then she's mad about that. She's always mad about something. I just don't know what to do anymore. Tell the RA, Candy said. Maybe you can switch with someone. Leslie nodded. So, are you guys doing anything tonight? I'm going to a coffeehouse in town, Cathy said. You two want to come along? What's going on there? Candy asked. Remember the guy I met at the rally? He's singing tonight. They invited Lynn Moon and Jane Cross, a couple of softs from Philly that they ran into at the dining hall. Cathy told them about Frog's directive, so they all got dolled up like they were the authentic red-hot mamas of Lions U. A gray-haired man in a clerical collar greeted them at the front door. Frog invited us, Cathy says. He nods. Yes, he told me to keep an eye out for cute dames with money, style, and a sense of humor. That be us, Leslie says. They sit near the stage. Cathy comments to Candy on the decor when Heaven arrives, wearing a silver vinyl mini dress with a plunging neckline. She eyes the empty seat. You want to sit here? Lynn asks. Heaven's dress rides halfway up her thighs as she sits. How are you, Cathy? Fine. You? Well, I'm doing just great. Tris called me just like he said he would. I'm so pumped. Bet you are too. Cathy nods. She introduces Heaven to the others as the lights dim. Pastor Roy Stewart invites everyone for Sunday worship and hands the mic to Frog, who is decked out in 4 shades of green. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, friends. I am elated to see so many of you here. If you aren't here, you'll surely regret it later. Tonight's performer comes to us on the heels of his amazing exhibitionism at the Stonegate State Penitentiary, where he wowed a captive audience and received a standing ovation. But I can see you're all waiting with bated breath to hear him play. And if you've ever had your breath bated, well, you know how painful that can be. So, without further ado, a don't or a didn't, let's all give a warm welcome to the uniquely talented Mr. Heartthrob himself, Tristan Pover! Frog grabs a chair and squeezes between Heaven and Cathy, smiling broadly and kissing hands as Tris comes on stage with his guitar, wearing white Levi's tan moccasins and a blue cardigan. The crowd cheers. Thank you. It's wonderful to be back. He bends a high note. His Martin D28 wails. After a lavish and precise sequence of bluesy tones, followed by a succession of jazzy chords, he begins to sing.
So you say you wanna be an outlaw just like me, to wear the brand of a wanted man and go down in infamy, to ride headlong into the Steady hands and empty guns don't make you Jesse James. Living with a price upon your head, in between alive and dead, will catch up with you in the end, son. Take it from me. The day will come when you will fall, when someone beats you to the draw, and you'll be one more old outlaw gunned down in the street.
The audience responds with loud applause. Trish smiles and plays Simon and Garfunkel's America. Cathy's heart soars when he sings her name. Next he plays All of a Sudden My Heart Sings, a romantic ballad from Paul Anka. Trish divides the room into 3 groups and teaches the audience 1 bottle of pop. They're jumping around enjoying it to the max. Frog is hysterical. Lynn, Jane, Leslie, Cathy, and Candy pump their fists as they belt out their lines. Heaven gyrates slinkily as she sings, Don't Chuck Your Muck in My Backyard. As the song ends, waves of applause, laughter, and cheers fill the house. I'm glad you're all having a good time, Trish says. They holler and cheer some more. He plays a few classical-sounding phrases, pauses, taps his guitar, and takes off on a familiar but dazzling run, and he sings Parabayalabamba, Parabayalabamba. The crowd is clapping in rhythm. He sings Twist and Shout and launches into another instrumental tear. Then he sings Chantilly Lace Had a Pretty Face and a Ponytail a-hanging down. The assemblage sings along with Triss's oldies medley with gusto. Parabayalabamba, Parabayalabamba. Then it's more Twist and Shout, and then he adds a 4th song. You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love drives a man insane. You broke my will, but what a thrill. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. And back to Chantilly Lace Had a Pretty Face. At the end, the crowd explodes. Oh, baby, that's what I like! After a brief moment of silence, it's 100 people tops, but it sounds like 1,000. Trish receives their accolades. He bows his head, and the thunder continues. Thank you all. Thank you so much. More, we want more, we want more, we want more. Frog nods his head, and Trish plays Homeward Bound. He hands the microphone to Frog and exits as the crowd continues to go berserk. He's not bad, Frog says, as the clamor rages on. Our man Trish will be back with more great music at 10:30. The kitchen is now open, and so is the grill. Hallelujah! Our well burgers are only 40 cents. That is less than 3 cents a bite. But if you think that's too much, the old frogster will bite you for free. Now, friends, please don't be writing on our bathroom walls. That's a no-no. And the Grace Evangelical Lutheran Church has installed hidden cameras to stop it. I'm just kidding. Frog steps down and asks Candy, Can I get you a well burger? She smiles. You sure can. I'd be much obliged, Frog. And what thirst quencher can I bring you, my good woman? I'll have a Mountain Dew, kind sir. Thank you so much. I'll be right back, Candy. Cathy is looking for Trish without success. She feels a finger in the small of her back. You better come with me, Val says. He wants you. Where is he? That is classified information. Follow me. Leslie looks lost. My friend wants to meet him too, Cathy says. Okay? Snay, Athy, just you. He's in his truck. Val sits beside him, Cathy across from him on a cushion. I need your help, he says. Sure, Triss. What is it? Tell Cathy what you told me, Val. Val grits her teeth and scratches her head with both hands. All right, but before I start, you should know something. You owe me big time. I do, Cathy says. You best believe it. She whispers in Cathy's ear. You know the Barbie doll with the flashing jugs? Well, she throws her old 38Ds at Tristan the minute he steps outside. Oh, Tristan, you're so talented. I just love your music. I love it. Well, I grabbed her. I let her know good and proper. We do not allow that type of behavior. What's Val trying to sell you? Asks Tris. She says she's your bodyguard. He grimaces. Oh, that. How did I get so lucky? It's 'cause you need me, Tristan, and that's why I do what I do. Just tell Cathy what you told me, okay, Val? Oh, all right. It's like this, Cath. My home life is very stifling. That's putting it delicately. Bottom line, it sucks. My old man's been running around, and my old lady got fed up with it, right? Gives him the old heave-ho. Only now she's got a biker dude staying at the house, and he's nasty as snot. But anyway, the chick my old man's been making it with, she's talking to Frog when I get here. Trish said she came with you. What's your father's name? Roger Haynes. Oh, wow. So who's the chick? My roommate. Tell her she's making a big mistake. I'm sorry, Val. I had no idea. What are you going to do? I don't know. Tris thought you'd know what to do, 'cause this new guy, he really stinks. The whole house is like a pigsty. And Mom, she never used to drink. Not much anyway, but now she's totally plastered most of the time. Like I said, the place is a dump, and she expects me to clean up her mess. She knew I wanted to see Tristan. I told her last week, but she could give a crap. So I split this morning, and I'm not going back there either. I mean, why the hell should I? Do you have any brothers or sisters? Just me. Any family around here? Aunt Lois, but she's a junkie. Cathy nods. Have you told anyone else what's going on? Oh, a couple of friends, basically. No one much gives a crap except Tristan. And you. Well, listen, Val. I think I know someone who can help if you give him a chance. Give who a chance? Why don't you come with me, Tris? You'll come too? Well, of course, he says. Let's go. They find the pastor. He invites them upstairs and makes a call. A few minutes later, an older woman arrives. This is Shirley. Shirley, this is Valerie and Cathy, and you know Tris. Well, hello. She focuses on Val. What's wrong, sweetheart? Cathy and Tris stand. We'll be downstairs if you need us, Cathy says. Hold up, Val says. We're still doing the song, aren't we? Absolutely, Tris says. Whenever you're ready. Tristan, Val says. I know I can trust you to behave yourself. What about her? Tris grins. You can trust her. All right, you can go. Tris and Cathy walk downstairs. I didn't know what to tell her, Cathy. I know she's a little bossy, but she's really very sweet. I probably should tell Candy what's going on. Frog looks steamed. She just left with a guy who was not very nice. I warned him. My hands are registered weapons. I even considered banishing him to a small planet in the Zokar galaxy where I get a preferred rate. But then Candy says she needs to talk to the malodorous pervert. Do you know what's going on? Do you know, Val? Cathy asks. Sure, Frog says. Triss's groupie / handler. Everyone knows Val. That was her father, Cathy says. With Candy? Frog is stunned. Well, I'll be dipped in canola oil if that don't beat everything. Where is Val? Cathy answers. Talking to Roy and Shirley. Good thing she was upstairs when Roger came. The other girls from the dorm are gone, along with most of the crowd. All that remains of the once jubilant atmosphere are a few scattered clouds of cigarette smoke. Frog comes on stage and says Triss's next show will begin in 25 minutes. Triss squeezes Cathy's hand. I can ride you back to the dorm. You don't have to stick around for the second set. But I want to, she says. He smiles. I need to get ready. Want to come along? She follows. Inside his truck, he brushes his hair, tunes his guitar, and looks at her. What? She asks. I'll be away this week in Baltimore. Family? He nods. My cousin Pete. Mom said he showed up at school yesterday with a loaded gun. The teacher called the police and he took off. My uncle's a cop, but he couldn't find him. Any idea where he is? I don't know, but I'm leaving first thing in the morning. You'll call me. I will. Back inside, Val sits with the Stewarts. Cathy joins them as the people start pouring in. Frog introduces Triss again. The crowd cheers as he comes on stage. He sings It's Only Love by the Beatles and Mac the Knife, just like Bobby Darin. The cheers ring out. They can't get enough of him. Thank you. He smiles and nods his head. I've got a friend. I've asked her to help me with my next song. Val walks on stage and takes the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to the amazing Miss Valerie Haynes. The crowd applauds. He strums his guitar and begins to sing, Lord, I open my window to receive your light. My eyes behold your glory, what a precious sight. Her voice is expressive and precise. You open the windows of heaven, and your blessings fall on me. I open my window to you, Lord. You open your windows to me. The audience eats it up. Val is beaming as she returns to her seat. As Triss sings, Going Out of My Head, Candy and Frog walk in. Val glares. Pastor Stewart whispers to Cathy, she's staying here tonight. We're meeting the mother after church tomorrow. Triss sings, When a Man Loves a Woman, the audience still in the palm of his hand. As the audience grooves on the song, Triss lays down his guitar and begins to clap his hands. He gyrates as everyone begins to clap rhythmically. Your love is lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. He rushes to the piano and begins to pound a fierce rhythm. So keep it up! He brings every listener into the moment. Many are standing and clapping. They're singing, higher, higher, higher. He drags his thumb across the keys like Jerry Lee Lewis, and then he grabs the guitar for another spectacular solo. He builds it to an absolute climax, and then brings everyone back for a new song, How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You. As they repeat the chorus, Triss sings, Your love keeps on lifting me higher, higher, and higher. He sneaks back to the piano and somehow plays both songs simultaneously. Then he ends with a spectacular series of Liberace-like arpeggios. The frenzied crowd rises to applause. He bows. They are screaming for encores as Frog takes the microphone. Thank you, Triss. Fantastic job. He looks at the crowd. You know, folks, seems like only yesterday the old Frogmeister was teaching those songs to the young Tristan. More, we want more, they yell. Mr. Heartthrob, Frog says, If you can hear me over all this noise that you are responsible for creating, I order you to come forth and do another. More! We want more! We want more! Tris peeks his head through the doorway. The audience explodes. He returns to the stage and plays Up on the Roof. The applause is deafening as he sits down with Cathy, Candy, and Frog. I'm wiped out, he says. Great show, amigo. Can I pour you a libation? Frog says. Ginseng, please, kind sir. Tris looks at Cathy and Candy. He dips his chin to the table, spreads his arms in a comical way, and makes a snoring sound. Candy laughs. I was really bummed today, but your singing, wow, it just makes me feel good all over. The crowd files out slowly. Many stop to tell Tris how much they enjoyed his music. Val scowls as she exits with Roy and Shirley. It's 3 past midnight. The boys walk the girls back to their dorm. Frog says, Thanks ever so, fairest Cathy. You did one bang-up job. Words are insufficient to even begin to thank you for bringing all these CPGs to the well. CPGs? Candy asks. Frog explains. That's certified practitioners of gorgeosity. Cathy is squeezing Tris's hand. He's squeezing back. Frog continues to amuse. Candy revels in his levity. I'll miss you, Tris says. Cathy gives him her longing, sad face. When can I see you again? I told Debbie I'd stop in next Sunday. We can get together then. She feels so complete in his arms. Good night, lovely one, he says. Good night, she answers. Frog gives Candy a hug and kisses her on the cheek. Tris promises Cathy he'll call after he gets to Baltimore. They say good night again, like he's going off to war. Candy and Cathy sign in. Candy pushes the up button on the elevator. What a night, Cathy says as she flops on her bed. Yeah, Cathy says.